Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye. Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityaṁ bhāgavata-sevayā. Bhagavati uttamashloke bhaktir bhavati naishtake. Ārādhayo bhagavāna vrajeshtanayas tadhāma vrindavanam. Ramya kāchitupāsana vrajavadhu vargena vā kalpita. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam pramanamamalam prema pumartho maha. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu matamidam tatradhara napara. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Caitanya Ishwaram. Jai Shri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Varaha Pīdam Natavaro Karnayo Karnikaram Bibratavasa Kanaka Kapisham Vejayantim Chamalam Randran Venu Adhara Sudaya Purayan Gopavrindai Brindaranyam Swapadaramanayam Pravishad Gita Kirti. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, my dear friends, thank you so much for joining. We are reading Canto 10 of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, chapter number 21. The gopis glorify the song of Krishna's flute, also called as Venu Gita. So this chapter has 20 verses, and we have covered 16 of them till yesterday. So we will start with the next verse, which means text number 17. And in this beautiful chapter, the gopis are in such a deep trance, hearing Krishna's flute and meditating upon the effects of what happens to the deers, to the branches, to the water bodies, to the peacocks, to different clouds, etc. What is their emotion, reaction, response upon hearing Krishna's flute? And of course, we have been discussing multiple lessons also which we derive from these chapter. So without further delay, let's move on to the next verse, text number 17. Purnah Pulindaya Urugaya Padabajaraga Shri Kumena Daita Stanamaditena Taddarshana Smara Rujastrina Rushitena Limpantya an Anana Kucheshu Jahustat Adhim. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace Abhicharan Aravind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai. The aborigine women of the Vrindavan area become disturbed by lust when they see the grass marked with reddish kumkum powder. Endowed with the color of Krishna's lotus feet, this powder originally decorated the breasts of his beloveds. And when the aborigine women smear it on their faces and breast, they feel fully satisfied and give up all their anxiety. Purport. Śrīla Prabhupada explains this verse as follows. The wanton aborigine girls also become fully satisfied when they smeared their faces and breasts with the dust of Vrindavan, which was reddish from the touch of Krishna's lotus feet. The aborigine girls had very full breasts and they were also very lusty, but their lovers felt their breasts. Someone not on mute. Can okay. Okay. The Bhajran girls had very full breasts and they were also very lusty, but when their lovers felt their breasts, they were not very satisfied. When they came out into the midst of the forest, they saw that while Krishna was walking, some of the leaves and the creepers of Vrindavan had turned reddish from the kumkum powder which fell from his lotus feet. His lotus feet were held by the gopis on their breast, which were also smeared with kumkum powder. But when Krishna traveled in the Vrindavan forest with Balram and his boyfriends, the reddish powder fell on the ground. So the lusty aborigine girls, while looking toward Krishna playing his flute, saw the reddish kumkum powder on the ground and immediately took it and smeared over their faces and breasts. In this way, they became fully satisfied. Although they were not satisfied when their lovers touched their breasts, all material lusty desires can be immediately satisfied if one comes in contact with Krishna consciousness. Hare Kṛṣṇa. So this verse talks about the aborigine girls or the forest girls and what they are feeling. Their deep emotion towards Krishna. And the context is that you may have seen this in the temples also. Right? Any temple you go, Krishna's feet, the soles of his feet are reddish in color because of the kumkum powder. So any temple you see, any deities you will find are little reddish or pinkish tinge. So in most places, let me quickly share since we are talking about it. Deity Darshan. There's a wonderful website also. You may be aware of that. It's called the Deity Darshan. So
Kumkum powder basically the Shidur, right?
is it the Sindur? I thought it's something different. It's a red powder. Maybe Matajis would know better. I thought it was something. It's different from Sindur.
Yeah, it is different from Sindur.
It's different from Sindur, yeah. It's used in puja and yagyas, and also I use it sometimes. I remember when we did the housewarming at Mahāprabhu, we'd use the kumkum powder to draw auspicious marks on his windows, Radhesham, Swastik, and Om, etc. And even after 1 year, he still has that. So that's very nice. And I went recently. So even after 1 year from the housewarming ceremony, he still kept those. So it was very nice. And of course, it's Krishna's name. Anyways, that was, so in short, it's different. Yeah, that's different. So I'm not able to find a good picture here where the red feet are Krishna's lotus feet. Any picture you see, you will see that reddish tinge. Oh yeah, this is a good one. Okay. Okay, so I just quickly did a search. So and you see, I just searched out Krishna's lotus feet. So, and these are some of the auspicious marks. But you see this reddish tinge here also. This is another temple, this reddish tinge. Anywhere you see, you will find that reddish tinge at Krishna's lotus feet. So that's when the gopis, when the abortion girls saw this, they were overpowered with the remembrance and the love. And it's mentioned here, very beautiful. I think the last line is very important for us to focus on in the purport. All material lusty desires can be immediately satisfied if one comes in contact with Krishna or Krishna consciousness. So when they were with their husbands, they were not happy and fully satisfied. But when they are with Krishna, they are fully satisfied. And that's a very nice point. Because Krishna only can fulfill all our desires. Krishna is the source of everything. Krishna is the cause of everything. And any connection with him is the source of happiness. Any connection with the outside world without connection to Krishna leads to misery and will never give us true satisfaction. Some husband could be serving the wife for 20 years, 30 years, or some wife could be serving the husband for 20, 30, 40 years. But you ask them, hey, I have given you 30 years of my life and did so much for you, and are you now fully happy? Guess what? No one will say, no, I'm fully happy and you have done a lot for me and I'm very, very happy. I have no complaint, no nothing. No, very, very rare to hear that. Even after spending 30, 40 years together, what to speak of Kali Yuga. So the point is, they gave up all the anxiety. Their anxiety is gone. And they're fully happy when they are in contact with Krishna and Krishna's lotus feet. Any more comments, additions anyone has? Okay, we'll move on to the next verse, text 18. Who would like to read this one?
I can read, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, after you, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Kṛṣṇa, everyone. Dhanavad pranam. Text 18. Antayam adir abala haridasha varyo yadrama Krishna charana saparsha pramodaha manam tanoti sahago ganyos tayor yat paniya suyava kandamulaya. Translation and purport by Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, devotees ki jai. Of all the devotees, the Govardhan hill is the best. Oh my friends, this hill supplies Krishna and Balaram along with their calves, cows, and cowherd friends with all kinds of necessities: water for drinking, very soft grass, caves, fruits, flowers, and vegetables. In this way, the hill offers respect to the Lord. Being touched by the lotus feet of Krishna and Balaram, Govardhan hill appears very jubilant. Purport. The translation is quoted from Srila Prabhupada's Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Manjulila, 1834. Srila Vishwananta Chakravarti Thakur explains the uplands of Govardhan hill as follows. Paniya refers to the fragrant, cool water from the Govardhan waterfalls, which Krishna and Balaram drink and used to wash their feet and mouth. Govardhan also offers other beverages such as honey, mango juice, and pilu juice. Suyasa Suya
On through.
Thank you, Shrimaji. Sorry, we lost power for a minute, Prabhuji. Sorry. Suyavasa indicates Dhruva grass used to make the religious offerings of Arghya. Govardhana also has grass that is fragrant, soft, and conducive to the strong growth of cows and increased production of milk. Thus, this grass is used for feeding the transcendental herbs. Kandara refers to the caves where Krishna and Balaram and their friends play, sit, and lie down. These caves give pleasure when the weather is too hot or too cold, or when it is raining. Govardhan also features soft roots for eating, jewels for ornamenting the body, flat places for sitting, and Babuji, can you scroll a little bit up? Yeah, thank you, Babuji. And lamps and mirrors in the form of smooth stones, glistering waters, and other natural abundance. Thank you, Prabhuji. Very quick, Prabhuji. This, as I missed the last verse continuation, but this verse is very deeply explaining about Govardhan Hill and what are the things that Govardhan Hill have. And first line itself, it says that Govardhan is the best. So of the devotees. So because of Krishna played around it he played in the caves, and also he took the water that is coming from these Govardhan Hill, and he played around it, and also he rested in the caves, and he drank the milk of the cows which ate grass of Govardhan Hill, and and so on and so forth. So I feel like having the dust of Govardhan Hill and doing all the and celebrating the Govardhan festival will at least give that we can have some pleasure in enjoying the God's Leela. Thank you, Prabhuji. Please correct me and
Thank you. Thank you, Vikant Prabhu, for this beautiful verse. So this is also a memory verse in this chapter. So text number 5, which describes about Krishna's beauty, and text number 18, which describes about the wonderful Govardhan, the glories of Govardhan. How Krishna and Balaram, Yada Rama Krishna Charana Sparsha Pramodaha. Let's go a little deeper and word to word try to understand all the words. Hantaya Madriya Bala Haridasa Varyo Yadrama Krishna Charana Sparsha Pramoda Manam Tanoti Sahago Ganayostayoryat Paniyasuva Paniyasuyavasa Kandara Kandamulai Hanta Ayam Adri. Ayam, this mountain, Adri. Adri refers to hill, right? Badri, Kashram, Adri, Adi. So there Adri is mountain or hill. So this mountain, oh friends, so the gopis are talking amongst each other, referring to this mountain, referring to Giri Govardhan. The best amongst the servants of Hari, Hari Dasa Varyo. This adjective is used for Vidura also, Uddhava also, and Yudhishthira Maharaj also, Haridas Varyo, the best amongst devotees. But in this case, we are referring to Shri Giri Govardhan. Yad Rama Krishna Charana, quite simple to understand. Sparsha, that means their Govardhan is regularly, daily touched by the lotus feet, the charana, the lotus feet of Rama and Krishna, referring to Krishna and Balram. Pramodaha, and gets very jubilant, gets very happy, very, very blissful. Manam tanoti. So, with great respect, Manam tanoti. And what else? Saha go ganyas. Go ganya. Go ganya is a go ganya means group of cows or calves, cowherd boys, go and gopagan. So everyone, cows and Krishna's friends. So go ganyaho. Tayoho. Yet paniya. So what else is there? There are a lot of drinking water. Drinking water also refers to a lot of liquids, like Prabhupada is referring here. Pilu juice, mango juice, so many honeys, beverages, and even till date, you'll see so many wonderful creatures. When you go to Govardhan, so many wonderful trees, flora, fauna, so many wonderful temples now. So Govardhan is a very special, place in our International Society for Krishna Consciousness. It is a place, it is very, very worshipable, very, very worshipable. And therefore, we celebrate Govardhan Puja with a lot of joy and happiness. And it's a festival of food, which is very, very sweet spot for everyone. So therefore, it becomes more joyful. But just by, building Govardhan, circumambulating Govardhan, thinking about Govardhan, remembering about Govardhan. I mean, when we went this time, we were blessed to do Govardhan Parikrama 3 times. And we spent at least around 10 days at Govardhan. So very, very wonderful experience and very, very deep, very, very deep, very, very deep. Just to sometimes, the devotees, the senior Vaishnavas were explaining that we are running so fast at all the times. But we should take a pause sometimes in our life and just come to Govardhan and relax. Relax means just relax from the outside things and connect to Govardhan. In Vrindavan, Govardhan is like everyone's Baba. He's like a father, like a friend. And even till date, thousands of people come and share their heart to Govardhan. Share their joys and sorrows. Someone, even if it's material, it's fine. Oh, my daughter is not getting married. Oh, my son has some weird kind of disease. Oh, Govardhan, what's happening? This knee is bothering me a lot, or this trouble, like bodily trouble or something. But pure devotees always ask for spiritual things. But in short, they approach Govardhan like a friend. They approach them, and in Braj they say, "Oh, did you tell Govardhan? If someone has an issue, oh, did you tell Govardhan? Did you tell Baba? Govardhan Baba? Did you tell your Baba? You must tell Govardhan. It will get, it will be fine. You'll be fine." So Govardhan is the center of everyone's life, and we met so many people. Like one example, I'll give. We were doing parikrama, and this gentleman, this nice devotee, was also. Thousands of people are walking, so he was also walking. We were also walking, and it's 21 kilometers, about 14 miles. So it takes about 6-7 hours to complete. And of course, there are about 50 major temples and maybe hundreds of other temples around on the parikrama marg. So beautiful, and a lot of like sarovars and So one day, I think all of you should plan to go at some point or the other. I know some of you are going, some of you may want to go, but should plan at least every so often. You can set your frequency, but there are devotees who, from California, they every month they goes to Govardhan Parikrama. Every month. Can you imagine? So from California, not from Delhi. I mean, going from Delhi also is no joke, but you may say, oh, Delhi walas, they live close, they can easily go. It's not that easy, even if one lives 2-3 hours away. It's about love and devotion. So yeah, referring to that person who was he said the doctors had practically given hope on him that he'll never be able to walk. But someone told him, why don't you do Govardhan Parikrama? Start with a rickshaw and something like he said. So he started the first Parikrama on rickshaw. Those who can't walk, 21 kilometers, they have the option to do the rickshaw, like an electric rickshaw. And then he prayed, he begged to Govardhan that please help me. He really shared his heart. And then he said, every month he does Parikrama now, walking. Now think about, doctors have given up because you won't be able to walk properly ever. What to speak of walking 21 kilometers in one day? That's no joke, even from a material perspective. Even from a material perspective, if one is walking that much every month, one will be very healthy. And our Goswamis, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, at the age of 90 years, they were doing Govardhan Parikrama. Śrīla Prabhupada wanted to do Govardhan Parikrama at the final days of his life. Śrīla Prabhupada brought Govardhan Shila with him when he came to the United States the first time. So Govardhan is very special to all our acharyas. And of course, Radhakund, the holiest of all the places. So many great temples and samadhis are there. So we must have a special place in our heart for Giri Govardhan. We must have a special place in our heart for Giri Govardhan. We must share our heart. Govardhan is not a rock. He has a very soft heart. We may have a heart, but my heart is like a rock. Govardhan may appear like a rock, but he has a very soft heart. So we must open up our heart to Govardhan, and we will see in countless ways he'll reciprocate. In countless ways. He's not just a mountain. He's not just a mere mountain. He's the best amongst devotees. Haridasa Varyo. That's what we are reading here. Haridasa Varyo. He's the best amongst devotees. Best amongst devotees means has the best amongst all the qualities of devotees, right? Compassion for all, humility, compassion, selflessness. It's all the qualities which a pure devotee has. Govardhan has that in the role of a devotee. And of course, in the role of Krishna, he is none other than Krishna himself. So he has multiple roles. Right, like Lord Chaitanya. Sometimes he takes the role of a devotee, but at times he did show the role of Supreme Lord. So, in short, we should read about Govardhan, hear about Govardhan, do circumambulation of Govardhan, celebrate Govardhan Puja, tell others about Govardhan. All these are ways to remember Govardhan. All these are ways which will bring us closer to Govardhan. We can keep a picture of Govardhan. We can't just pick up a Shila on our own, but at least we can keep a picture of Giri Govardhan and Radhakund, Shamkund, or the other temples in Govardhan as per our heart's desire. There is full permission for that. And like that, we can. There is Govardhan Raj also. Raj means the lotus, the dust, and we can smear that on our foreheads. We can put that on our foreheads every day, some particles, and that will remind us of Govardhan also every day and give us protection. And that dust is the dust where Krishna has walked, and that dust is the dust where Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Lord Chaitanya Mahāprabhu, Prabhupada, and millions and zillions of unlimited pure devotees have walked upon, that dust, including the topmost gopis as well. So that is the dust we can smear every day or put on our head. This will also remind us of Govardhan. And we can try to offer this verse to Krishna. And this is a memory verse, so if you like, please try to memorize if possible. Anyone has memorized the fifth verse? Anyone? It's been 10 days or so, approximately. Did anyone try? How many of you tried? Well, they probably try. You want to try now to share? What?
Prabhuji, you just add me some words in between. Baraha apidam, Baraha apidam,
Nata.
Natabaro bopu, Korno kornika karam, Korno kornika karam, Bhajanti Chamalam.
That's in the last or second line. Both the ones.
Ranjan Benur Adhara, Ranjan Benur Adhara, Shudha Apurniam, Ranjan Shudha Apurniam.
Gopavindai.
Apun Gopabinder. This na Shapado. Shapado. No, Binda, sorry. Binda Arnam Shapado Ramanam. Binda Arnam Shapado Ramanam.
Very nice. Pravashad Gita Kirti. Very nice. Varaha Pidam Natavaravapu Karnayo Karnikaram Bibhratvasa Kanakakapisham Vejayantim Chamalam Randran Venu Adhara Sudhaya Purayan Gopa Vrindai Vrindaranyam Swapadaramanayam Pravishad Gita Kirti. So this verse talks about the beauty of Krishna, which Baldev Prabhu recited. Very nice, Prabhu. So I encourage all of you, please try to remember or memorize this. And this is a beautiful way to wake up. It's a beautiful way to go to bed. It's a beautiful way to start driving. It's a beautiful way to stop driving. It's a beautiful way to go to the bathroom. And I mean, anywhere you're going, it's a beautiful way to use, even from a mental perspective, our mental energy, because these days we don't try to remember anything. As a result, what happens? We don't even remember some basic phone numbers, which we should remember. We don't even remember, I mean, I'm talking about myself. I don't remember any much routes. Oh, just Google, GPS and all that. 10 years back, there was research that taxi drivers have a better memory. Why? Because they travel so much and they remember all the routes in their head. But in short, we can remember this thing, right? The purpose of memory is to remember verses. Like the purpose of eyes is to see Krishna. The purpose of memory is to really remember about Krishna's verses, glorification. So this is also one of the other verses, text 18. Beautiful verse about Govardhan, beautiful verse. Hantaya madari abala haridasa varyo yadrama Krishna charanas parasha pramoda manam tanoti sahago ganayostayoryat paniya suyavasa kandaraka kandamulai. Maybe one or two devotees can recite. This will go deeper in our heart. Anyone would like? I hope you all know the meaning now, right? A little bit, at least, if not all the words, but at least something. It is the mountain. We're referring to Haridas Varya, the best among devotees. And that mountain, Ramakrishna, Krishna and Balram's Charana Sparsha. It was touched by the lotus feet of, and that was the reason for Pramoda, means happiness or joy. And along with that, okay, in this way, the hill offers respect. Oh, wow, so beautiful. In this way, mana, amanina manadena. In this way, the hill is offering respect to whom? To Krishna. Tana, to them, tanayo. And along with them, saha go ganayo tayoryat, also to Krishna's, the devotees who are accompanying him. That means the cows, the cowherd friends, etc. And also providing what? Now, we have been discussing this in all verses. Like the peacocks provided the feather, the clouds extended themselves to provide shade, right? So everyone is providing the best. What is Govardhan providing? What kind of friendship? Govardhan is the one which is, serving Krishna in so many ways. He's providing paniya, liquids, beverages, juices, fruit juice, honey, etc., etc. Suyavasa, durva grass, referring to the grass for arghya and different offerings. Soft grass, so for the cows. Then kandara. Kandara means caves. So when it is too hot, they can, Krishna and Balaram, the caves are like, they are insulated, you can say. They would go and sometimes go play inside the caves. A classic example, Aghasur story, right? They thought it's a cave. So they used to go and play in the caves. And also kandamula. Kandamul means edible fruits and edible fruits and roots, etc. So all these things Govardhan is providing. He is giving a lot of respect to Krishna. Manam, mandene, amanina manadena, tanoti. Not just to him. Saha. Saha means also, or along with Krishna, he's also giving respects to go, cows, and ganya, the cowherd friends, and the touch, and Haridas Varya. So let's recite this a few times. Anyone would like to try?
I can try, Prabhuji, with your blessing.
Yes.
Hare
Yes,
Kṛṣṇa, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Hantaya madir abala abala haridasa varyo yadrama Krishna charana sparsha pramodaha manam tanoti sahago ganayostayor yat paniya suyavasa kandara kandamulai.
very nice.
Hare Kṛṣṇa, Prabhuji.
Maybe one or two more. Anyone? This is the trick to memorize. Repetition is the father of memory and the mother of something. To get better, we have to repeat multiple times. That is the secret, coming all the way from our Vedic tradition. Yes, Arun Prabhu?
हाँ प्रभु जी, हरे कृष्णा. हंताय मद्दीर बला हरिदास वर्यो यद राम कृष्ण चरण स्पर्श प्रमोदः मानः तनोति सह गो गणयोस्तयोर्यत् पानीय सूयवस कंदरः कंदमूलेः.
Very nice. Vaswati Mataji?
Hare Krishna. Hantayam adrirabala haridasa vryo yadrama Krishna charana sparasha pramudaha manam tanoti sahago ganayostayoryat paniya suyavasa kandara kandamule. Back to Hare Krishna.
Very nice, very nice. Now you can frame this in your mind, right? The first line is talking about the identity of Govardhan. This mountain, Hantayam Adri, Haridasa Varya. You may not remember everything when you do this, but if you remember some things, right? Even in your English, Hindi, Bengali, whatever language you want to frame. Okay, first line is talking about what? What aspect? What's in discussion in the first line? It's talking about Govardhan, the Adri, the mountain, which is the best amongst devotees, Haridasa Varya. Why is it best? Okay, try to make it a story. Why? Because Yad Rama Krishna Charana Sparsha. Lotus feet of Ram and Krishna are touching every day practically. And that's why Govardhan is very jubilant. Right? Try to make a story. Pramodaha. Now what? Now he's not just jubilant and forgetful, oh, but he's very respectful too. Manam Tanoti is respectful to Krishna, and also Saha Ganyo, to cows who are with Krishna. That means we can't just reach Krishna without respecting his devotees. You say, oh, I respect Krishna. That is Kanishtadikari. And not respect the cows, not respect the Krishna's friend. That's not first class. First class means also respect devotees. So third line talks about Go Ganya Saha Tanoti. That means he's respecting also. And how is he reciprocating? In the fourth line, there are four things. Right? 4. In the fourth line, there are four things. What? Paniya. Pani refers to water, but here is water is liquid in nature. So the meaning is all the liquids. Honey, juices, mango juice, pilo juice, beverages, etc. Then Suyavasa, Durva grass for Argya. Also Kandara, caves, and Kandamulai, cake. So those four things are mentioned in the fourth line. How Govardhan is offering. Does that help to build the connection and build the story? This is a way it can go deeper in our hearts, memory, and we appreciate. We just don't memorize the words. We appreciate what is going on and understand, and then we're not just speaking like a parrot. We also know what's the meaning behind it. So, any thoughts? Any comments before we? Questions? Additions?
Just curious to know who's next, Prabhuji. Like the clouds, peacocks, and now Govardhan, and then just curious to know who's next, trying to express their love towards Krishna.
Okay, you'll break your own curiosity now by reading the next verse.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I can try. Prabhuji, would you be able to recite once? I don't want to.
Gago pakar anuvanam nayato rudara Venusvanai kalapadai bhrishtu sakhya Aspandanam gatimatam pulakastarunam Niryoga pasha krita lakshanayor vichitram.
Can I try, Prabhuji?
Yes, please.
Gago pake arkai anuvanam nayothor udhara venuswana swanai kalapa padais tanubratsu sakhya aspandanam gatimatam pulakastarunam niryogapasa krata lakshanayor vichitram. Hare Krishna. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada and his disciples Prabhupada ki jai. his disciples, Prabhupada disciples. My dear Krishna, my dear friends, as Krishna and Balrama pass through the forest with their cowherd friends leading their cows, they carry ropes to bind the cows' rear legs at the time of milking. When Lord Krishna plays on his flute, the sweet music causes the moving living entities to become stunned and the non-moving trees to tremble with ecstasy. These things are certainly very wonderful. Purport: Krishna and Balrama would sometimes wear their cow-herding ropes on their heads and sometimes carry them on their shoulders, and thus they were beautifully decorated with all the equipment of cowherd boys. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that the ropes of Krishna and Balrama are made of yellow cloth and have clusters of pearls at both ends. Sometimes they wear these ropes around their turbans, and the ropes thus become wonderful decorations. Prabhuji, are those the cloth, yellow cloth ropes which are used to tie for the cows? Little bit confused. The ropes,
the ropes are some made up of yellow cloth.
Oh, okay. Because the ropes that I usually observed in India are like very tough. They're not cloth. Some kind of tough material, very hard, which goes in around the cows. But this is nice. This cloth, I think it's, I don't know, maybe not that tough to Krishna's cows, maybe. Just thinking about it. Hare Krishna.
Many of you have taken darshan of this. That means Krishna and Balram are carrying ropes. Have you seen it at Lachua or Vrindavan or Krishna Balram deities? Multiple times I have seen in Lachua, multiple times. So next time, if you're lucky, you'll when you go, you will see Krishna and Balram carrying ropes. As mentioned by Srila Prabhupada in the purport, sometimes they wear cow-herding ropes on their heads. So they're carrying on their shoulders. I'm trying to find a picture if you can quickly find that, because they don't dress them like that every day. But I would say at least 2 out of 7 days they do put ropes. So I've seen that multiple times in Vrindavan Dham and also in Alachua, which is actually New Raman-Reti. So if I'm able to find, oh, I found it. Wow, lucky. All of you are lucky. I'm also lucky to get this darshan. Sometimes they give in the hand too. Sometimes they give in near the head or on the shoulders. So let's look at this beautiful darshan of Krishna and Balram carrying ropes. Because they're cowherd boys, and cowherd boys for milking, they need ropes. So the yellow color here, ropes are nicely depicted. So we can meditate upon that. And sometimes they would carry on the shoulders. This is like that something they would carry the bugle horn too, right? You may have seen that also. And these are cowherd boys. So the causes the moving living entities to become stunned, right? And the non-living or the non-moving, the trees start to tremble in ecstasy. So the moving, sometimes when we see a very like a mesmerizing scene. We're like, oh, really? We're like shocked. And we're like paused. And we discuss the example of the stone starts to melt, right? So this is what happens. And this is all very wonderful. Vichitram. Very, very vichitra. Now, what is the purpose of the rope here? What's the purpose of the rope? Why are Krishna Balram carrying rope? We covered that.
Tying the legs.
Tie the cow.
Tie
That
the
place.
cows. To tie the legs of the cows
Legs of
for milking purposes, because at the time of milking they tie the rear end, the rear legs of the cows. Another beautiful meaning is the go also means senses. So when we see the ropes in Krishna's hands, we should pray to Krishna, you please take the charge of my senses and steer them how you steered the chariot of Arjuna, because chariot also the horses refers to senses there. So you steer, my intelligence is not strong. You become my chariot driver, you become my sarathi, you become my navigator, you become the captain of my ship and steer me in the direction which is appropriate for me to go. And please steer me away from the direction which is not appropriate for my go or senses. Go means senses. So I don't go. So my go don't go in the wrong direction. Right? Go here, the first go is the senses. So my senses don't go in the wrong direction. So you become my chariot driver. You please take the ropes and pull when required and steer when required. That's another beautiful meditation when we see Krishna and Balram carrying ropes. And this is also very, very wonderful. This is very wonderful. What else? Any more thoughts, comments? Anyone has?
So here it's trees as well as the ropes which are covered, right, Prabhuji? Non-moving entities.
Yeah, referring to the trees here, yes, the non-moving trees, taru. So what was your comment? Is the non-moving referring to trees? Is that comment?
No, yeah, I was just, was it trees as well as the ropes which are covered in, like in the last text we were reading about Govardhan hill very happily. Now here we are talking about trees with happily, non-moving things also happily reciprocating, enjoying Krishna's presence. And then ropes also considered as non-moving entities. Or
I would say this verse is kind of a, if you carefully analyze this verse, in one verse they are covering a lot. So this is kind of summarizing. If you see, this is kind of a summary of all. Because we have covered off multiple non-moving, and we have covered multiple moving, because the chapter is about to wrap up here. The gopis are kind of summarizing, and therefore they're using the word at the last, vichitram. All these pastimes of Krishna and Balram are very, very vichitra, very, very wonderful. So in this verse, there is multiple mention of multiple people or entities or personalities, right? the cows, flute, of course, the trees, then in those who are living can move, they are in jubilation and they can't move, right? Those who can move, they can't move. And those who can't move, they start to this show symptoms of ecstasy and start to, So this is kind of coming to a summary for all.
Yes, Prabhuji, makes sense, Prabhuji. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Okay, we'll go a little over today and complete this chapter. So if that's okay, because just the last verse is pending, so I don't want to pause, and it's not too long, so we can, I think, cover it. So text 20, anyone?
I can read, Prabhuji. Arjun devotees don't pronounce all to Śrīla Prabhupada. Text 20. Ibam Vrinda Bhagavato Ja Vrindavano Charino Varnanto Mitho Gopa Kridastan Mayatam Yahu. Translation purport by the devotees of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti-Vinod Prabhupada, Śrīla Prabhupada, and his devotees, disciples are joy. Translation. Thus narrating to one another the playful pastimes of the Supreme Personal Godhead, as he wandered about in the Vrindavan forest, the gopis became fully absorbed in thoughts of him. Purport. In this regard, Sri Prabhupada comments, this is the perfect example of Krishna consciousness, to somehow or other remain always engrossed in thoughts of Krishna. The vivid example is always present in the behavior of the gopis. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya declared that no one can worship the Supreme Lord by any method that is better than the method of gopis. The gopis were not born in very high brahmanas or kshatriyas families. They were born in the families of Vaishya, and not in big mercantile communities, but in the families of herdmen. They were not very well educated, although they had all sorts of knowledge from brahmanas, the authority of the Vedic knowledge. The gopis' only purpose was to remain always absorbed in thoughts of Krishna. Very nice translation and purport. So, as you know, gopis are the best devotees, and Radharani the top gopis. So they are always absorbed in Krishna, though they have their families, they have their society, but they ignored everything and always in consciousness, Krishna consciousness actually, as Prabhupada said, best Krishna consciousness, and they are ready to leave everything for Krishna. Back to Prabhuji. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yeah, so many wonderful lessons from the gopis, and Prabhupada is so nicely mentioning that Krishna is not pleased by our education, not by our gender, not by our learning, not by how many shlokas we recite. Gopis by that standard did not have a lot of wealth, they don't have a lot of education, did not have a lot of tantras and mantras, pujas and mudras. They had simple, loving, selfless, unalloyed Krishna prema. And they were always, as Prabhupada is mentioning, somehow or other remain engrossed in thoughts of Krishna. Now, this is the goal of life. Yena kena prakarena mana Krishna niveshayet. Somehow or the other, right? Now, we have to figure out how can we somehow or the other stay engrossed in Krishna consciousness, right? If I would be taking kids class, I would have given this homework to them. You figure out, you write an essay on how will you somehow or the other stay, but all of you are my superiors in every way. Of course, the kids are also very superior to me in every way, but I don't give you homework. So, anyways, it's a very nice topic to just reflect upon individually. How can I somehow or other stay Krishna conscious. This is like practical application. Shastras we need to apply practically. For someone, it could be cooking. For someone, it could be, multiple ways we can be memorizing verses, cooking, kirtan, hearing Krishna Katha, reading Bhagavatam, book distribution, prasad distribution, hosting programs, going for programs, festivals, so many ways, Rath Yatras, spiritual meetings, and going to holy places, Sadhu Sangha, Tirth Yatras, and parikramas, serving Tulasi, doing Arti. Oh my God, there's endless. These are all direct and then somehow indirect. I'm doing for grocery. I'm buying this for Krishna. I'm buying flowers. And what will suit Krishna? What kind of dress we'll put? What kind of festival it is? What will be most appropriate? So the act of grocery shopping also becomes transcendental. It becomes a karma. So this is Krishna consciousness, somehow or the other engrossed in thoughts of Krishna. And even while we are working, we should do our best because we are offering the fruits of work to Krishna. Hare Kṛṣṇa. So in this chapter, we covered a lot. So in 20 verses, you can revisit them when you get chance. At least read the translations again to get a quick overview. Any thoughts, comments before we pause?
Suppose I forgot to read. Thus end the purpose of the humble servants of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada to the 10th canto, 21st chapter of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, entitled The Gopis' Glory, the Song of Krishna's Flute. And Prabhuji also, Prabhuji Topu Mataji, and the mother of you two students, Purvi Roy. So she has been joining the morning chanting class also.
Hari Bol, Topu Datta Mataji.
Hare Kṛṣṇa Prabhuji.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We are very, very blessed that you are here.
I feel very blessed. I get the opportunity to listening that like Krishna Katha. I'm very delighted to hearing that thing and get a chance to hear it with a group. There's lots of devotees.
This is amazing, right? Vichitram. This is amazing that we are like juxtaposed to here. And your daughters are so amazing. I see them all the time in the kids' class, and Purva and Purvi. Very, very nice devotees.
Thank you.
They're doing well?
Yep, they are trying to sometimes they get lots of homework. So they until they finish, they can't do anything. So they try their best to do everything.
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you, Baldev Prabhu, for inspiring this wonderful family. And that's just how, real friendship is, to inspire each other, to take to the process of bhakti and help each other to grow more. This is very nice. So thank you. Please continue to join as in when possible, every day if possible. And let us know if we can be of any service.
Sure. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. I'm very grateful to my dada who giving me the information to join that. Thank you so much, dada.
Very well. Where do you live? Topu Mataji?
Now I am in New York.
In New York.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And summertime permanently I'm moving in Maryland.
Maryland.
Yep.
Baltimore where is Baltimore?
Yeah, Baltimore. There have yes.
In Baltimore area?
Yep.
Oh, very nice. There's a beautiful temple in Baltimore.
I already visit there because.
And what's the name of Bionto's mother? Are you all connected in some way?
Bionto mother is my sister-in-law.
Okay. What's her name?
Her name is
That's fine.
Sweetie Shah.
Yeah, Sweetie Shah.
Okay.
I forgot the name.
It's fine. I know you have a lot of people to remember names, so that's totally fine. So I think you'll be closer then because they also live close to that Baltimore area. I'm going to actually Washington, so if anyone is in that area, I am hoping I'll get to meet Beyonto. Let's see if whatever Krishna arranges. I always, there are so many devotees who I know on Zoom, but I have not met them. So I'm hoping that I'll be seeing some of those faces face to face also in next few weeks of my travel.
Okay, Prabhuji, when you will go to DC? In summertime or now?
Actually, Sunday is my flight. It was actually yesterday, but somehow it got delayed, and so this next week. Yeah.
Now
Anyways,
but next time if you go in summer and after that I'll be there. Don't miss me, please. I'll be so. It will my humble request. Come to
Hare
visit.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. And likewise, likewise, please, whenever you're coming to Florida, please come and give us some chance to be of some seva. So thank you again, everyone, and we will pause here. Tomorrow is Sita Navami, and we will not have the class tomorrow. I'll share a recording, or you can hear any recordings of Sita Devi's appearance, but we have some other service we need to take care. So we'll not have the Friday class, Saturday, Sunday, then travel. So Monday onwards we'll resume. We have a lot of things to do this next 3 days, and Sunday we are traveling to Washington, and we'll be back on Friday. So nonetheless, please, Sita Navami is tomorrow, important day for us. You can hear some more Krishna Katha, Sita Devi's Katha, which I'll share the link. And then we'll read next chapter from Monday onwards. Granthraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purana ki jai, Jagat Guru Śrī Prabhupada ki jai, Samaviti Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai, Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaiva cha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Jai Śrī Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Have a safe travel. Sorry.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.